This is Irish Mike Crockwell,
My passion is building humongous swords.
keeper of a dying art. He has chosen to forge his own destiny.
I'm a welder by trade. I used to build bridges and buildings, but I found it terribly boring. I started making swords for my own personal amusement. A friend put some of my work on YouTube. 6 million total views later, boom, I'm inundated with requests.
Now, this Irishman dreams of making his passion his profession.
Life is too short to spend it doing something you hate, so I want to try and make a living and support my family by making and selling giant swords.
Can he make his fantasy a reality?
I don't know whether this is going to work or not. It's either going to be a soaring tale of triumph or a bitter saga of defeat. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make a hernia. Zeus doesn't hold a sword. It won't look right if he's holding just a sword. In all the depictions, it's a bolt, and he's holding it in the middle because he's about to throw it. The lightning blade is challenging because it's the first sword in this new business model. It has to be done in a week, and it has to be done in budget. You know, if I'm to be a responsible adult businessman. It's the handle that's killing it. If there was some way to hide or remove that, that's the battle. I have to think the thing I'm making is cool. Otherwise, I won't be able to do it properly. It'd be more like a wizard's staff, almost. I've come up with an idea for the lightning blade. It'll look like a 6-foot-long lightning bolt. I'm mounting the handle in the middle of the blade so that the user looks like Zeus casting a lightning bolt. I want the handle components to have a hammered, worn look, to look like something from antiquity, held on with big brass rivets. I'm going to wrap the handle in leather to make it look like something ancient and primal. The blade is going to be shiny to remind one of lightning. I want it to be convincing that maybe it's something a god might use. Hopefully a human will be able to use it properly. Okay, gentlemen, the current customer, he wants a sword that's like Zeus's lightning bolt. In order to make this a full-time job, I have to increase the production speed. The sword building team I assembled are the best candidates on the island, which is another way of saying they were probably the only candidates on the island. It turns out I was incorrect about Eric being in prison. It turns out you were...
I'm in the Army Reserves. That was my annual training. We go there for 2 weeks.
How did you get kicked out of the army in 2 weeks?
What? No, I went to the Army for 2 weeks.
Is the army like a vacation thing now where you can just go for 2 weeks?
No, it's an annual training thing, and we do stuff being prepared for getting deployed.
Okay, I'm already bored. Okay. Eric and I are friends, but I've never been his boss.
I've done carpentry, I've been a computer repair technician, and even a medical laboratory technologist, but what I really want to do is move to Mars.
Eric, I want you to cut out the handle shapes as ASAP as possible.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, and then Jamie, as our resident blacksmith, I want you to...
Hammer texture the metal?
Yeah, the only blacksmith on the island is an artist called Jamie. She doesn't normally do big giant swords.
Some hammer texture?
Yeah, I want a texture underneath the leather. I want it to be wrapped in to make kind of like a...
Did that moth just come out of your beard?
Yes. Yes, it did.
Don't dwell on it.
To just kind of make it a little bit more interesting is I want to figure out how to electrify it. I want it so that when it hits things, it sparks.
How would you electrify a sword?
If you could find a wizard, that would be great. I always like to add a little personal thing to each sword, and what's electricity but canned lightning? So, I mean, the next step is obviously to electrify the blade and somehow get it to shoot sparks. Since Mike is immune to all forms of electrical damage, it's your job to figure that out.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Johnny will help you. These are the only people I know on the island who have the skills to help me do what I do. Everything I have is kind of riding on the sword business. If this fantastic sword building team I've assembled doesn't work out, I'm not sure what I'm going to do.